If you guys want coins for FC24, make sure you check out MMOEXP.com. Their link is down in the description. They're very fast, they're very cheap, they're very reliable, and if you use my code REMA, you can get yourself a lovely 5% discount. So, what's up guys, it's Ash here and welcome back to a brand new video. I'm currently sweating me balls off at the moment, to be honest with you. Us English people don't deal with the heat too well over here, because it's basically like being in a sauna in your room. You know, we just take all the heat in, and it's an absolute nightmare. So yeah, I'm sweating and panting, and yeah, I have some tactics that help me out in Foot Champs for you guys today. Hope you guys do like the England team, by the way, that's on the screen. It's just something fun I put together, and yeah, I hope you guys do like the tactics. I'm going to upload this, go watch the England game. This video might be up after the England game, I don't know, but I hope England absolutely smash Slovenia, because been absolutely terrible in the tournament, guys. I'm sure you're all aware. Too defensive, score a goal, sit back, basically FIFA in a nutshell. But yeah, if we can really put the sword to Slovenia, it might get us going somewhere, and I might feel a bit more confident for the round of 16. But enough waffling, guys. I hope you all enjoy the video. Let's get right into it. Alright then, guys, so I've actually changed a few things up this week, to be honest with you, because things just weren't working out too well, and I was getting bored with what I was using before. So honestly, these worked out really well. Defensive style, guys, this doesn't change. Keep it on balanced, as it does give us the best control over our defenders. I say this all the time, guys, but when you want to press, you know, you can, and when you want to drop off, be more passive, you can also do that. So I do recommend balance, but if you guys want to use pressure tactics, that is also fine. Now, moving on to the defensive width, I usually have this on about 40 to 60, but honestly, I don't know why. Whenever my opponent plays like a through ball through the middle, I just couldn't get the ball, you know, it just seemed like there was too much space. So I've actually gone against my own rule of 40 to 60 this week and put it on 35, and it's really congested that middle area. The only thing you really have to watch out for at times is, you know, that switch of the play, but if they just keep switching it, they're not going to do too much anyway. It's when they get down the wing that it's a problem. But yeah, this worked really well for me. For the depth, guys, you can pretty much use whatever you want. I know a lot of people are using 100 depth. I did try it out. It was pretty overpowered, but at the same time, felt too automatic. I didn't really like it, I'll be honest with you. You know, a lot of people also like 71 depth, where you still get that automatic press, maybe not as crazy as 100 depth, but still really annoying to play against. But me, I like playing with either 65 or 60, and kind of similar to the width, I've lowered it to 60 from 65 because, yeah, I was just getting destroyed by through balls and it wasn't fun, so I just lowered it a bit more. Now, for the build-up play, guys, I always recommend balanced. The reason I say this is because it's the most varied and the most fluid way to build up. Basically, when you use balance, guys, you can basically pick and choose between each of the types of build-up. So if you want to play slow, you can. If you want to speed up and play a bit quicker, you can also do that. So balance basically allows you to pick and choose between all these different styles and use them when you want. I also think all these individual styles are terrible, like slow build-up, for example. It doesn't really help you out. The AI is terrible. They just move around in a really slow, methodical manner, but not in a good way, not a good methodical, just a really sluggish way. Fast build-up, they just move around like idiots, to be honest with you. They don't really offer you anything, it's just chaotic. The only one you can really make an argument for, I'd say, is long ball, but I don't really play long ball, so I prefer balance. Now, for the chance creation, guys, I have this on direct passing. I think this one's an absolute must, in my opinion. Now, the reason for this is when you use direct passing, guys, it's pretty much the only way to create consistent chances in this game. So what happens is your attackers make runs, defenders follow attackers making the run, and then once the defender's overcommitted to the run that the attacker has made, the defender then makes a track back move. The attacker then makes a track back movement. So it creates a space between the defender and the attacker, so you can pass across or cut back to them. So that's why it's called cutback 24. But yeah, you pretty much have to use this, even if it is boring. Now, for the attacking width, you can pretty much use whatever you want. The only thing you need to know is the lower the width, the more narrow. The higher the width, the wider it is. I'm going with like 43. I've narrowed it down a bit, to be honest with you. I'm playing through the middle a bit more, just been having a bit more fun. You guys might want to up it to like 50, 55. That is also fine. Now, for the players in the box, I have this on 7. This is to get quite a few players into that penalty area, but we don't overcommit to the point where if we lose out on possession, we're not always going to get counter-attacked. For the corners and the free kicks, guys, I have them both on 2, but you can do what you want with that. Now, moving on to the player instructions, guys. On the striker, we have them on stay central and get in behind. This is very important in my opinion. The reason stay central is important is because it keeps them in that middle area, of course, which is where they're of most use to you. You have wider forwards. You don't really need this player drifting out wide. You want them to be in the middle. You want them to be that focal point, and this is what allows that to happen. Getting behind is also very important, especially when your opponent is using a pressure tactic, because it's the only way to force movement out of them. If you have this player on mixed attack and your opponent is using a pressure tactic or 71 or 100 depth, then this player just becomes an absolute idiot when you're using them on mixed attack. So getting behind is very important to ensure that they move. Now, for the left forward, I have them on the same instructions for pretty much the same reason. Stay central on like a left forward or a right forward doesn't mean they're going to go right into the middle. It just means they're going to stay in that more narrow channel next to the striker. So it just makes them a bit closer, makes them act more of a forward as opposed to a winger. Because if you have them on balanced width, sometimes they drift out wide like a winger, and I don't really like that on this player specifically. And then getting behind, of course, to utilize their pace to get in behind. Now, for this right forward, we have them on get in behind, and we also have them on comeback on defense. Now, the reason we pop them on comeback on defense is because it makes it defend in a 4-4-2 shape. And the way I've got the width set up in this set of tactics, it's very important to make it defend in a 4-man. So, when you put this player on comeback on defense, they will come back to defend as a right midfielder in a 4-4-2 shape. So, why is this important with the width we've got? So, basically, put it this way, 35 width is very narrow. Having 3 players in the midfield takes up less width of the pitch in general than 4. So when you put a 4th player in that midfield to make it a line of 4, you naturally add a bit more width, and you can basically spread them out a bit more manually. It just makes you more compact. That's the way I should put it. I'm sorry, I'm losing my mind. I'm really hot at the moment. But yeah, it makes you nice and compact, and it gives you a really good defensive shape. So it allows you to block out those attacks through the middle and also out wide. So it's just even more important, you know, when you're using a lower width. But yeah, that's pretty much it. For the right centre mid, we use a box-to-box, and we actually pop this player, it didn't save, on get into the box cross and cover centre. I noticed, like, this is the box-to-box, by the way, this right centre mid, so you want them to do, like, a bit of everything. You want them to attack and defend, which is why you leave them on balance. But I also had them on balanced crossing runs, and they weren't really doing that much when we, you know, got into the attacking third. They'll kind of sit too deep, and I don't really like that. So I popped them on get into the box across, and then Bellingham decided to, you know, actually make more transitional runs, get more involved, and it made it a bit easier to attack. But this is a preference thing. You can put them on balanced if you like. We also pop them on cover centre, which is very important to make them defend as one of the 2 midfielders, the 2 centre mids, sorry, in that 4-4-2 shape. Now for this middle centre mid, we use the more defensive minded player, so the stay back guy, the CDM. So on this player, because we don't want him flying forward, stay back while attacking, and then also cover centre. Cover centre, obviously, so he defends as one of those 2 centre mids in that 4-4-2 shape. Now for this left centre mid, we can use natural attacker here because, like I said, it defends in a 4-man. So when you put this player on cover wing, it'll actually make them defend as a left mid as opposed to a left centre mid. So their defensive ability is not always super necessary, as we always have the coverage of an extra player, this being the forward when we don't have the ball. So on this player, because it's an attacker, get forward, get into the box cross, you know, basically just makes them attack even more, gives you an extra player, and really helps you out. Now for the fullbacks, guys, on the left back, I have them on stay back and overlap. This is so we always have at least 3 defenders back at a time, but when we send them on the run forward, they'll make an overlapping run to add that width because it is a narrow formation. And then for the right back, guys, to add that width, because again, like, it is a narrow formation, so on the more competent fullback, we have them on balanced overlap. So this means that they will actually help us out in the attack to add that extra width, give us that wider option, and stretch out the opponents. For the 2 centre-backs, we leave them alone, and the keeper, we also leave them alone. But yeah, guys, they're my tactics and instructions. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, please be sure to drop it a like, sub to the channel if you are new, and don't forget to turn on notifications. And with all that aside, guys, hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.